What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. The Utah Jazz had one of the best drafts in the NBA. I thought their draft was excellent. What did you guys think of the Utah Jazz draft of Taylor Hendricks, Keyonte George, Brice Sensabaugh, all in the first round? Thought they did an awesome job. I gave it an A. I'm going to break down why I thought this draft was really, really vital for the Jazz in the future and in the present, because I thought these picks were all really, really nice picks, and these dudes are going to be good. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But the Jazz knocked this draft out the park. So let's start with the 6'9 forward out of UCF, Taylor Hendricks. I thought Taylor Hendricks was one of probably the safest picks in the draft. I think he has one of the highest floors for anybody in this draft. And this is a bold statement here, but I think at 3, 4, 5 years from now in redrafts, we might be looking at him as a top 3 pick. Okay, because he's 6'9". He's big. He can guard pretty much everything. He can protect the rim. He can guard the perimeter. He can do all that. And he's 40% from 3. He's an absolute sniper out there. So you got at the very worst, you got a 3-and-D stud. And the league is literally craving those every single year. One thing it'll be interesting to see that if he develops his game off the dribble. Doesn't quite have that just yet, but I think he's going to see a lot of minutes because he's going to be a 6'9 guy that can go out there, guard your best player, but also spot up and knock down threes. Very physical player. I think his fit is going to be really, really nice too. Might get a little bit clouded with the John Collins thing, but I think John's probably going to get traded again anyway. But imagining the defense and the length on the court with Taylor Hendricks, Lauri Markkanen, and Walker Kessler, that's fire. Overall, love that pick. Thought that was fire at number 9. Perfect pick. Can fit in nicely next to Lauri too. They kind of complement each other's games. So I'm very excited to watch Taylor Hendricks play in a Utah Jazz uniform. Then at pick 16, they took Chiante George out of Baylor. It's basically a tweener kind of guard. He's 6'4", and if you want to sum him up in a couple of words, it's score, score, score. That is what he does. He is a scorer, and this is a team in the Utah Jazz that don't have a lot of guard depth right now. No Collins, or they have Colin Sexton, Taylor Horton-Tucker if he opts in, but really, outside of that, there's not a lot of guard depth on this team. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity for a guy like Chiante George, who, he's a 6'4" guy. So I think the one thing that we're going to have to try and figure out about him is, can he play the 1 or can he play the 2? Where does he kind of fit? But he's a natural-born scorer from all 3 levels, and that's something that they lacked, so they went and got it. So I like that pick. It'll really just depend. He's either going to be a 6'4" big point guard or an undersized shooting guard. And we've seen guys like that have success, either becoming sixth mans or just, becoming really good players. We've seen it happen time and time again. I'm just curious as to what they're going to play him at more. He's going to be a young guy. Playing point guard in the NBA as a rookie is one of the hardest things to do. But he's going to get a lot of time to learn and play through his mistakes and kind of grow as a player. And I think it's like a perfect situation for him. Then we got Brice Sensabaugh out of Ohio State at pick 28. Absolutely love this pick. I thought he was going to go top 20. Got him at 28. And even for those that don't know, the Jazz had him at 18 on their big board, and they got him at 28. Absolute steal at that pick. He's a 6'6", 235-pound, forward that is an absolute bucket getter, 40% from 3 on over 4 attempts a game. The dude can light it up from everywhere on the floor. Very, very good player off the dribble. Very, very good, and he's very explosive. I think offensively, he could be one of the most explosive players in this draft. And you're getting him at 28. I think his floor is like 6th man. And I think that's not bad because he's a 6'6", 230. He's a big dude. He's got an NBA body, and he's a bucket getter on top of that. So they kind of, what this team did in this draft was they addressed positions of needs, team needs. They got those addressed. Scoring with Keyonte George and Brice Sensabaugh, and then you got versatility with Taylor Hendricks. And then possibly even more scoring. You got shooting. They did a lot of really, really good things in this draft. I think, going back to Brice Sensabaugh, the one thing he will have to work on is his defense. Was not a very good defender in college. But, those are things that very few rookies come in the league and are any good at defense. It takes a second on that. But if you can come in and you can score, that's going to help your case. So we'll see how his rookie season goes. But I thought that getting him at 28 was an absolute steal. Overall, this was just a really nice draft from the Utah Jazz. Excellent draft, in my opinion. I feel like they did a really good job on all 3 of their picks. They didn't really reach for anyone. Even I feel like Taylor Hendricks, like I said, he could end up being a top 3 guy in this draft at the end of the day, just because of what he provides, just as his floor, as a base, is one of the most sought after things in the entire NBA. So if he develops a great game off the dribble, it's over. That dude's gonna be a stud. And then Brice Sensabaugh, if he gets better on defense, he's gonna be a bucket getter from day one anyway. You're gonna have a great pick there. And then you have Keyonte George, who's gonna get a lot of playing time and is gonna get to improve in a very good situation, which situation matters so much for NBA players, especially point guards. Because a lot of these times, these point guards get drafted to terrible situations with no talent around them, and then they struggle, they fail, and people blame the point guard, or the player in this case. Utah's not that situation. All three of these guys are going into a very, very good situation, a young team with a lot of potential that played very, very well last year, and they're going to get an opportunity to play. So I love this draft. I thought that they hit on all things that they needed. It was just really, really good. How do you rank the Utah Jazz draft this year? Do you give it an A? Do you give it a B? Do you give it an A plus? I think if you have it any lower than a B, you're sleeping on it. But if you do, let me know in the comments. Let me know why. I always want to hear that. But I thought this draft was awesome for them. Plain and simple. Said that a million times already, but it was great. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But the Jazz knocked this draft out the park. I'm done. Peace.